Oh, guys, good, you're here. I am so excited. Guess what? I hope this isn't about your podcast again. Why, did you finally listen to it?
The Groomer Next Door is recorded in front of a live studio audience. I was looking in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly to my surprise, he did the monster mash. He did the mash, the monster mash. The monster mash, it was a graveyard smash. He did the mash, get caught on in a flash. He did the mash, the monster mash. Whoa, from my laboratory in the castle east. Whoa, to the master bedroom with a vampire feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abode to get a jolt from my electrode. He did the mash, the monster mash. The monster mash, it was a graveyard smash. The monster mash, get caught on in a flash. The monster mash. Whoa. Have a happy Halloween. And he is your host, my mommy and daddy, Chris and Stella Green.
Hello everybody and welcome to episode number 98 of the Groomer Next Door. I'm your co-host Chris Green, sitting next to me as always, but unfortunately this week, the sick Sarah.
Hello.
And we have our little one right next to us, who just finished her third season of soccer yesterday, Claire.
Hello.
Well, let's see, this week we have quite a few things to actually go over, as we do every week.
Yep.
This week, before we even get started on it, you know, one thing that I actually will mention, I've mentioned it before, but I'm not sure if everybody knows this. That is,
You stopped me from tinkering with stuff all the time.
I have to. Wow. Okay. Both of you. So this week, I wanted to mention this. You know, we're also blah blah. You guys threw me completely off. Thank you very much. You guys are terrible. You know that?
We did our job.
You guys are so bad. I want everybody to know, if you listen to us on YouTube and you want to actually listen to us on iTunes or even Android, they have podcast apps that you can actually have an app that's on iTunes. Depending on your phone itself, you can actually have it on your phone as well, or your tablet. So I just want to mention that, because I know we have a lot of people who listen to us on YouTube, which, hey, I love it. It's totally cool. But I do notice that every so often we fluctuate between our iTunes, which is just our standard podcast, and our YouTube. Some weeks they go in different directions. So our daughter loves to throw me off when I'm trying to do this. She's got me completely thrown off. I'm trying to turn down a game that she's playing right now on the phone, and you're crinkling papers. Oh boy. How am I supposed to do a show when you guys are like this? Wow. Another thing that I did this week is we actually released Claire's soccer video of her whole team.
Yes, we did.
I wasn't going to actually release it publicly. I was going to just, do a small little video and kind of only submit it to, the parents. But, we do so many different things, and I wanted it to be a public thing. Why not? Claire's part of the podcast, And, we talk about the soccer team all the time and really proud of all that they have done. So I wanted to actually put it on public, part of our mainstream, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where other parents can see their kids during it too. Even though it's highlighting our team, we still played against other teams. And,
Right.
They might have a little highlight here and there of their kid doing something that they really wanted to see. Wasn't intentional by me to get it, but just so happened to catch a couple of their goals or something like that. But
Yeah, I mean,
everybody can enjoy it.
And it should be. It should be enjoyed by all. I mean, I one of the things I loved about it is the sponsor of the team actually wasn't aware that we were going to do this, and the sponsor actually saw the video, loved the video, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
So, being able to make a lot of people happy just by putting something like this together. Another thing I have to mention is all that you've done. Sarah had worked so hard
I appreciate it.
this season. This is your first season as a team manager.
Oh my gosh.
So you actually had a lot to actually do for the team. You organized the practice. You got in contact with all the parents. You put together the goodie bags for the last game of the season, the pictures, the video that you filmed so I could make this movie.
It's still, I can't say this enough. It drives me absolutely bonkers when when we play sports, they take pictures and
Yeah.
you're able to purchase them from the photographer and all this other stuff. Well, here you don't exactly have that. So unless you take the picture yourself, but you don't have a team picture that.
Yeah, there's not
You
much
know?
of this memorabilia for it,
And this could last a lifetime.
Yep.
It's like that one woman who is in college right now playing soccer. She started at Raleigh Youth.
Yeah.
Optimist Club. And went up from there. I was like, that's pretty cool. What happens if someone else does it that we've been a part of their lives, or if our own daughter does the same thing? There needs to be some kind of documentation of it, some kind of photo.
And nowadays, I mean, we have phones. Our phones have so many different options to film, to take pictures, to do all this stuff. There's really no excuse why we can't. I mean, our phones have better cameras than they did in an actual movie camera 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
And
Hey, everything was taken off my phone. I don't have a fancy camera. I don't have anything like that.
We have the GoPro.
Well, even at that, I don't use it.
I mean, the GoPro films great quality, but the phone is just so easy.
Well, yeah, and I would rather do simplistic.
Yeah.
But our phones have such good cameras on them. I mean, those pictures came out good. Not
They
a single
did.
one was blurry. Not a single one was fuzzy. Nothing was distorted. So it was pretty cool. The parents really liked it, and that was great for us.
Yeah, and I loved it. So I wanted to actually say how much I actually appreciate all that you did this season. You worked hard.
Thank
You worked really hard, and this season was our most successful season in soccer. I look forward to going back and doing it again. We've mentioned it so many times. A year ago, Claire was on another team that I had coached. My first season of coaching was a year ago, and it was just so much fun going through it then and doing it in the spring, and now doing it again. Looking forward to going back, and just it's amazing. So, all right, well, that's pretty much that portion of it's out of the way. Let's dive into the weekly roundup.
The weekly roundup, yeehaw.
All right, this week on our weekly roundup, I cannot actually think of anything major that took place this week. It was very calm.
And normal.
I know, it had been one of the first weeks that we had a calm week at the salon. Nothing really too drastic came up. No, there was apparently.
Yes, that cat that tried to kill me.
Was that this week?
Was it this week or last week?
I thought it was last week. It might have been early this week.
I don't remember. There was a time when that cat tried to kill me.
Yep. Actually, if it was, it would have been the early, like Monday, Tuesday, but I don't remember.
I wasn't feeling good that day.
I don't remember. But tell the story.
I don't remember. I was hoping you would.
Well, I remember a cat came in and was.
Okay, yeah. It came in.
Go ahead, you tell the story.
Sorry. It came in for a spot shave.
Oh, okay.
They didn't want a full-on shave, but a spot shave.
That was this week.
The cat was sweet and loving and just kind of leaned into each pet until I got the clippers. And then it was over with. I didn't use my actual big clippers. I used the Arco, the little tiny ones. And it was over with. I mean, I couldn't get anywhere near it. I couldn't pet it. I couldn't touch it. I couldn't get our figure 8 harness off of it. It was bad. I had to just come up with this crazy idea just to get the harness off of him safely and put back in his kennel. So
And the reason why you didn't actually push it any further was you didn't want to give it a heart attack, you didn't want it to stroke.
Yeah, I didn't want it to have any health problems or pee or poo on himself, because then I can't get him clean and he's going to go home with pee or poo on him. That's not right. So it's one of those things where it was unsafe. The cat was just stressing out. It's never been to a groomer. The owner said that the cat was staying with its sister or something like that for a week, and then all of a sudden got all these knots on her and stuff. I'm like, okay.
This is where grooming gets to be a decision-making, almost weekly kind of thing, where you really have to decide, hey, is it too much of a hassle to do this, or is it more of a health condition? And that's where you have to make the decision of, well, I want to make my money, so this cat or dog is going to get its groom no matter what. And that's the bad grooming out there. You have to know when to say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to risk this dog or cat having a seizure, a heart attack, a stroke, just dying on the table. All these different things you have to actually weigh into consideration. Is it worth the couple dollars you're going to make, or send it home?
Yep. Unfortunately, there are groomers out there that are like that. There are people out there who do not care either way. They just want to make their money and go from there. But not us. If it's unsafe, if it's going to cause any kind of pain, we're stopping.
Yeah, it has to be, and that's the big PSA of it all. You just can't take that risk. I'm really trying. We changed our shampoo this week.
Yes, we did. That was a big thing. We changed our shampoo to a biodegradable shampoo. We did have one that was environmentally friendly, but it was causing troubles with our bathing system, and it was leaving the scum residue all over everything. And I was like, we gotta change this. I know it's something you guys really enjoyed for the past, I don't know how many years you've used the shampoo, but I've never had this scum problem with the same machine at my other shop. I said, you gotta get rid of the cream shampoos. You can use conditioners, just use it by hand, but the cream shampoos are what needs to be eliminated. So we got a nice deodorizing shampoo. It's not a cream shampoo, it's a see-through one, biodegradable again. And then we do have another cream shampoo, but it's going to be used differently. And that one is just, it smells fantastic, that blueberry one.
I love that blueberry. Sorry.
Wrong time to ask you a question.
Yeah, right, I just inhaled it. Having this cold has been the hardest part. Working through it, oh gosh, that's the takeaway from it all.
Yep.
Headaches and muscle aches and
changing our shampoo has been fun. We're using less now.
Than
ever before.
The measurements are so much less. It's
if you need to take your high concentrated shampoo and make individual gallons of it, it makes, let's see, a half cup makes an entire 10 gallons of shampoo.
Something like that. It was some
weird
number.
Half a cup of straight shampoo dilutes up to 10 gallons.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And if we wanted to, you can dilute it again another gallon if you wanted to. But I was excited. That's great. Half cup.
Yeah.
All it takes.
Half cup, and it soaps up really nice. It smells really good. I was really happy with that. I was a little concerned about that, but
yeah, I was a little worried too. But that's any time when you change shampoos.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I don't think there was anything else this week that really came up. No curveballs, no nothing. Huh. All right. Well, let's move on to G&D News. All right, this week on GND News, we have 2 stories, and we wanted to actually cut out the sour this week. There were some, sour stories in the news, but we wanted to, keep it as, light and friendly as possible. So our first story comes from Utah. It's a great organization that actually pretty much takes in a bunch of dogs from New Mexico. And I'm going to leave it at that is the story and let them tell the full story.
Yeah, we need to do a little bit more research on them. I think they do whatever they can, wherever they can.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just New Mexico.
It's not, but
this story is focused around there, and this whole news area is going to be focused on fostering.
Right.
So,
Claire, Claire, play that clip.
Love this story. Caring for a pet can be a full-time job, opening your home to an animal and becoming responsible for its safety.
But some of us take things a bit further, making animals a lifetime passion.
So it's not the one that stays with them for life, which is good.
Right. Animal lover Christina Owens brought 4-month-old Powder out for some fresh air.
She had no hair when we got her.
Powder's getting over a nasty case of mange.
It's safe. It's safe.
But Powder's not the only dog Christina's taking care of. She has 46.
I love animals. And I'm a little crazy, no.
Christina runs Utah Lost and Found Pets, helping place those 46 animals in foster homes.
So is she ready for adoption then? Yeah.
Nice. But Powder's playground today is no park. It's an airport.
I was going to have my fosters meet me here, and then I thought about it, and I was like,
This plane isn't filled with toys or doggy treats.
it's just going to be crazy to have them here.
It's packed with dogs.
He's here? Where? Oh, like he just landed?
Yes, the only passengers on this plane are puppies.
These are the best. These martingales are the best. I absolutely love these.
That's Stephanie Smith. She helped plan this day.
Just did a mass rescue evacuation of death row dogs in New Mexico.
I'll just put them down here and you can take them away.
Yes, death row dogs.
In New Mexico, they typically only have 3 days to be saved. So as you can imagine, it's pretty tough over there to be a pet.
It's heavy.
Smith says shelters in New Mexico are simply overwhelmed with pets.
They're euthanized and taken out in black garbage bags and taken to the landfill.
She says many people simply don't understand the importance of spaying and neutering their pets,
There are 2 more with babies. Stop it.
making days like this part of a never-ending cycle.
We take out 50 more come in the next day. These guys, they have no voices. They have no one to help them. Some of them have never even felt a human hand other than to be mean to them.
Come on, Ryder. Come on.
But these dogs have little to worry about. Many are now getting their first taste of freedom, and some are a little eager to start their new lives.
See, I got it. We're good. Okay. Here, puppy, come on. Baby girl, come on.
Sometimes it happens.
These animals aren't even going to shelters.
You get to make a difference somewhere.
They're going to foster homes and hopefully finding a place to call their own.
We sacrifice our heart on a daily basis, but makes it worth it.
Some cute dogs there. All right, those dogs hitched a ride with the nonprofit organization called Dog Is My Co-Pilot. Christina's group and the others involved today's rescue hold regular dog adoption events. We'll have more information up on our website, ksl.com.
Well, you can really...
I really love that story. One of the things that came out of it was I wanted to actually get in touch with Dog Is My Co-Pilot. It's a nonprofit. I've already actually reached out to them to see if we can actually get them on the show at some point. So maybe next week we'll have Dog Is My Co-Pilot, somebody from there to talk to. That's my hope.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I really, we haven't had a lot of guests on this year because it's been so convoluted and crazy. So we'll probably try to get them on here because I really want to hear more about them and their story and how they got started. But these ladies, there are lots of NPOs out there that are this great, that take in a bunch of animals. I mean, look at the one lady, she had, 48 dogs, I think, something like that. And the other lady, I'm pretty sure, had just as much. And, it shows the importance of fostering, which we will discuss more on fostering in a little bit. But, it's remarkable to see these people getting together and doing what they're doing. And 3 days in a shelter in New Mexico, and if not adopted, euthanized, that's crazy. I don't know how much truth there is on that.
That's pretty accurate. I mean, it's the same thing with the dogs over in California. They don't have much time either.
So sad.
It's a couple days and that's it.
And again, what was the biggest important thing to take away from it? Have your pet spayed or neutered. You know, I mean, it's so obvious and such a important statement to make, and yet it's just people just don't want to do it. I mean, we've heard. I know you've definitely heard. Men won't get their dogs neutered because they have this
gross attachment to their dog's genitals.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
It is.
You know, they don't want their dogs, neutered because how dare they get neutered? Well, look, you're not going underneath the knife. You can, for the most part, keep it in your pants when any woman that's able to get pregnant is walking by. But not with the dog. It's instinct that kicks in that they cannot control. So therefore, they go after it.
I'm sure there's women listening to this right now saying, "No, that's men too."
Right. But for the most part, men need to stop this obsessive
infatuation with balls.
Yes, with their dog's balls.
Yeah.
They could be cut off. It's okay.
Yeah,
nothing's gonna happen.
No.
It's still a male. It's still a boy. You're not gonna call it Bruce Jenner. You know, it's okay. You're all right. Don't worry.
I don't understand why it's such a big deal either. We have a male cat, and I was very happy when he got neutered. I don't want to deal with the cat walking around spraying when it's when he's in heat.
Or a male dog marking everything.
Yeah, we actually had that a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
That's a good story to bring up to it. There was that one dog. It was a
Schnauzer.
Schnauzer?
I think it was a Schnauzer.
I thought it was a lab. I thought it was bigger.
Bigger?
I thought it was bigger. It was on the bottom kennel, and it marked around the entire outer area of the bottom kennel.
Yep, it marked everything. We had to keep this dog completely segregated on the other side of the bathing room just so he didn't pee on the other dogs.
Yes.
Because he was neutered but extremely late in life, so he still had that intention, the instinct to lift his leg and pee on everything.
And you're right about the Schnauzer. That was a different day.
And it
was up in the middle kennel, and it actually lifted its leg and shot into the other kennel on the other dog.
So we had to go and deal with that.
Yes.
And that guy had to get segregated too.
Yes.
It's quite annoying on the groomer's perspective of dogs that aren't neutered. But then again, there are some dogs that don't get neutered that don't do it. But you let your dog lives longer.
Yes.
Without their bits.
And honestly, when you look at it, there are a lot. If it's done early, their demeanor is so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, you get it done right away, right when it's the perfect time to get it done when they're a puppy. And
they don't get that aggressive.
Yeah.
They don't get that drive. And there's this one person that we're kind of friends with. We don't hang out or anything like that. But he has a beagle, and he refuses to get his beagle neutered. And he says the last time that I saw a dog neutered, it gained a whole bunch of weight and also was just grossly fat. Well, that's what happens when you feed them nasty food.
That's it.
And you free feed, where they're constantly able to eat all the time. You feed them good food, and you feed them twice a day, then you're fine.
Well, it's a discussion I had the other day with the, I lost track of what the dog was, and that's okay, it doesn't matter, but I was having a discussion about food with the owner. And he says, I feed my dog, and he said the name of the food, and it's a very low grade. And I told him, well, first thing you can look at when you go to Walmart or you go to the market, look at the dog foods that are on the counter on display. They always have pictures of wheat, corn on the bags. Those are terrible for your dog. Wheat, corn, soy, gluten, they're all bad. And the other thing is, you're feeding your dog, actually overfeeding your dog, because it's, 3 cups to 1 cup of what good food is 1 cup, and bad food is like 3 or 4?
Well, it's like corn. Corn's not even good for humans. Corn is technically not good for humans.
It doesn't break down.
Starch. Yeah, it doesn't break down, it doesn't digest.
But it is fun to revisit it though.
No. Anywho, corn? I didn't eat no corn. Name that movie. Anywho, I'm not gonna make you do that. So when you put in fillers into food, that's all it is. Your dog's getting full of fillers, not nutrition.
And not even good parts of animal that they're just really the throwaway pieces.
It's like you can get your kid a bag of chips or something healthy. You know, a bag of chips will get them full. It'll keep them alive, but it won't be that much quality if you don't give them that healthy stuff they need too.
Unless it's veggie chips.
Even at that, it's not even good because it's just nothing but starch.
I like veggie chips.
They dust vegetables on top of it. It's not made out of vegetables. You know that, right?
I like veggie chips.
Okay, moving on. Anywho, but here we go again. Go back to the fostering part.
Yes.
Fostering is a wonderful bit. It is a just rewarding sense. I suggest everybody do it.
Right. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
But this one person was able to connect with Dogs My Co-Pilot and able to fly these dogs out and put all of these dogs in fosters.
I would love...
Do you realize how many fosters it takes
to
take care of that many animals?
Well, if you gave 2 dogs per person, you're still looking about 22 dogs. Or 22 people.
And then some dogs probably can't be together with another animal, so that means they have to go to a 1-animal foster.
Right.
And, you know, some of them just, you know, and all the money it takes to get them
Spayed
called
or neutered.
vetted.
Oh, yeah.
Careful, Claire. Sorry. It takes a huge group. It takes a lot of effort to make sure that these dogs are being taken care of.
Yeah, you gotta get them their shots.
Well, that and you gotta get them relocated.
Yep.
I mean, flying dogs anywhere is not easy.
Nope. If gas for a car is expensive, what's a plane?
A whole plane.
A whole plane.
No passengers, just
dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that was a great story. Very uplifting. Gives you hope for humanity once again.
It does.
And I would love to meet this lady and shake her hand.
Yeah, I would too. Our next story comes from the other side of the country, from Brooklyn, New York, where a woman actually has found low-income areas. And I guess if you really think about Brooklyn, as far as I know, all of Brooklyn was low-income. I don't know.
Never been.
I've only heard it from... I only had a friend who lived in the area, and he's like, it's all low-income. That's all I know. That's as close as I got. Like to go. Yeah. Anyway, she goes around and helps people who need help with vet bills and such. So, Claire, play that clip.
Finally, tonight, here's how much Americans love our pets. We spent nearly $56 billion on them last year alone. But not all owners have the resources to keep our best friends healthy. And that's where one young woman is stepping in to make a difference. Here's our Rahima Ellis.
How you doing, baby? Derek McCain's dogs, Rose and Sheba, are more than just his pets. They're his family.
Okay. My dogs mean everything to me. Of course, I love them. I take care of them.
How hard is it to get them to the vet?
Well, it's almost impossible. You know, your mommy doesn't feel well, right?
And when they got sick, oh, Sheba, baby,
So
he didn't know what to do or how to pay until he found Kim Wolf.
Let's go get better.
She runs Beyond Breed, a nonprofit organization that helps keep people and pets together in her Brooklyn community. So you've identified the areas that have the greatest need.
Absolutely.
An area with few resources.
There are no veterinarians. It's very hard to find healthy pet food. And there's just a lot of ways that people have to work so much harder just to get the basic things that they want to get for their pets.
With determination, a bicycle, and lots of donated pet food and supplies, she reaches hundreds of her neighbors in need, connecting them with veterinarians.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Doc.
Derek's bill of nearly $1,000 to get Sheba and Rose well again was mostly covered by Beyond Breed.
Oh, good girl. Come on, good boy.
When she's not helping to care for them, Kim takes pictures of people and their pets.
Percy! We're not just dropping off pet food and leaving and that's the end of it. We're building relationships.
believing no matter what the circumstances, everyone should be able to enjoy the special love of a pet. Rahima Ellis, NBC News, Brooklyn, New York.
That's an amazing woman right there. And I love the fact that she takes photos of people with their dogs. I don't know why, just randomly, she's like, hey, can I take a picture with you with your dog? I think that's pretty cool.
That's pretty nifty.
I mean, you know, it shows that there are people out there that actually want to do something instead of just, you know, skate by, I guess is the way. It makes me feel good that, you know, all that we do, there's other people out there who are doing just as much, if not more. That is cool. Do you have anything you want to add on that one?
No, I think it's kind of unique. It's quite inspiring, and it's like quite clever for someone to come up and do stuff like this. You know, it's hard to imagine a place where you can't just walk down the street to a local veterinarian.
Yeah, and you know, if you're on low income, it's really hard to actually afford vet bills.
Yeah, and all because you don't make a, you know, money hand over fist doesn't mean you shouldn't have that bond with an animal. I mean, there's people out there that go without health insurance themselves and would stay home sick until they absolutely have to go to the emergency room.
Well,
but
yeah.
For the most part, they just get over it themselves. So if they're willing to do that to themselves, the love of a dog, you know, it's rare that something huge happens where you have to have a huge medical bill that comes from it. But when there is, it's nice to know that there's this lady that will help.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, she was able to cover $1,000 vet bill for that one guy. That's pretty amazing.
It is.
So, you know, definitely, you know, amazing stories this week. And, you know, it's good to know that there's a lot of people out there that are doing good. Well, that concludes GND News for this week. And now on to that game show that is sweeping the nation. Name the breed.
Guess the breed. With your host, Chris Green.
All right, contestant, are you ready?
As ready as I'm going to be.
Okay, now let me actually give you all of the details on this breed before you answer.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, once I give you all the details, then I'm going to say, do you actually have a name? Can you name the breed, all right?
Okay.
All right, let's start. I'm not going to tell you what country and origins because that's just ridiculous. The weight is, it can get to 4 to 6 pounds in a male, same with a female. The height of this animal is 6 to 10 inches. Short-haired, smooth coat, and there is a long-haired on this particular dog. The lifespan on this particular dog is 15 to 20 years. Can you name that breed?
Chihuahua.
Its origin is from Mexico. You win.
I just said it randomly. I'm sorry.
Now, I don't give you the answers to this.
No, you don't.
She's actually got tears in her eyes. She's
so
laughing
sorry.
so hard.
That was funny.
You know, I really should change it and reshoot this whole thing. You know that? Folks, if you know what, with the problem with the podcast, you can't actually see what's going on. She actually is laughing so hard, tears are coming out of her eyes.
I just said it randomly at the beginning, just to say it.
I don't even know what.
Well, the thing, I'm not going to tell you the origin. I'm like, oh, it's a Chihuahua.
I really need to stop talking. Every time I did this the other day, I did this on Friday night where I was like, if you can name this one person, I'll give you a back rub. And I'm like, she'll never. She says the name. I go, how did you know? She goes, well, it's this person was important as a player to you, so you actually know him. Oh, I gotta stop. Next week I am gonna throw you completely off.
You're gonna give me some like out of control breed.
You know I will. Well, that was this week's Name That Breed. Now moving on. Even though you want to actually, throw me off on this one too, just a little bit. No, not at all. Okay. All right, let's move on to our last. I'm so sad about this. This is the last A Moment with Claire for this year. I mean, we'll probably have something, but for the soccer part, this is the end of it. So now on to A Moment with Claire.
Buddy, your boy, make a big noise. Playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace. Kicking your can all over the place. We will rock you. And now, A Moment with Claire.
All right, Claire, this is the last game of the season. It just actually ended right now. How was it?
Good.
Tell me about it.
I almost scored a goal when I was over there.
That's right. You almost actually had a couple goals.
Yeah. I was going right and left almost at the same time.
And what else happened?
I was trying to control it. I was trying to turn it around. I was trying to do it.
And you did really well. You really did. I mean, it was a hard game. A lot of things were going on, but you did really well. Well, this is the last A Moment with Claire this season on the podcast. I'm really sad about that.
Yeah, and we won.
Oh, we won every game except for one, and it was last week, and we just tied.
Yeah.
How many games did we win?
We won 4.
And how many did we tie?
We won 3.
We tied only once, which is good. Great season. All right, sweetheart. Thank you for being part of this team. I love you.
Leslie's coming.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Well, that was, you know, what was great about that is that we actually recorded right there on the field. They were breaking down the field at the time because the season was, we were the last game of the season.
Yeah.
So they were breaking everything down, and it was just like, oh, you know, could you wait a couple hours so that you didn't break my heart right there and then? I was like, what the, that's not right. But, yeah. Well, did you want to add anything since you've had like a day to go over it? What do you want to add, anything?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well then you do it.
I almost shot a goal, 2 goals.
Yeah, you already told that to everybody before. Is there, now you saw the video that I made, your movie, what did you think?
I think it was awesome.
Well, that does matter. Okay, keep going.
So then I was trying to keep up with the ball.
Well, we've already talked about what happened at the game. You just did that in the interview. What do you have to say now a day later? Are you going to miss soccer?
No.
Why aren't you going to miss soccer?
I'm never going to miss soccer.
Why?
Because I know what it, I remember what I had the good times.
But aren't you going to miss going to practice on Thursday? And games?
No!
Why?
Because I don't wanna. I'm not gonna miss soccer.
I think she doesn't quite understand what the word miss means.
Okay, are you going to be sad this Thursday when we don't go to practice?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess that was A Moment with Claire. Okay, now on to our main story of the week. You can try to make me laugh all you want. It doesn't work as much anymore. Too many episodes. So this week, as you can notice on the album art, there's a picture of a cat. That cat's name is actually Whiskers. The name was given to the cat by Claire.
Again.
Now, again, yes. So, what happened? Tell us the story of how Whiskers came about.
Well, once upon a time, I was on Facebook, and I was scrolling through like I normally do, and on Rolla Deals with Friends, I saw this posting, and it said, "Someone come get this cat, or I'm gonna put it out country style." That is a cleaned up version of what they wrote. The person wasn't very clear on their English. So I clicked on it, because this cat is not going to meet its death because somebody doesn't want it anymore. So either I'm going to go get this cat or something's going to happen. So I get on there and I'm scrolling through, and instead of coming up with a solution, people were just bad-mouthing this person. Yes, the person's not exactly what you call #1 citizen in the world, but or the most intelligent or the kindest person in the world. Alright, this is how they are. You can't change it in one post.
Yeah, you're not going to change people. You're not going to change this person.
No, we're not. We need to worry about this cat's health.
Right.
Nobody was going to do anything about it. And then I recognized this name. Her name is Shelly. And I was like, I know her. I've met her. She works with Pikal. And she, is a very big advocate for mainly for cats and animals. So she goes, I could pick it up, but I can't foster. I have too many as it is. And I was like, okay. I said, hey, Shelly, if you can bring the cat here, I'll foster. And right when I sent that post, I leaned into the bedroom while Chris was playing his game, and I said, honey, I love you.
And that always means I'm screwed.
Honey, I love you.
The answers I give is either how much is this going to cost, or what do I have to do. Now,
honey, I love you so much.
Now let's be kind of in a moment here. Let's set the moment. It's last Sunday night. The podcast has yet to be edited, put into what you guys are hearing right now. It's just a bunch of raw tape.
Yeah, but it was already recorded.
But it was recorded. So it's just raw tape at this point, and I have to put it together. I have to put together all this different things. It literally takes hours. So I haven't even started yet. And you drop this on me, and I'm like, oh. Every Sunday after recording, and I'm so scared that it's going to happen right now, we record these podcasts, and
something else happens.
Something comes up, and we either have to drive out to some weird house that looks like it's from a haunted movie, some scary movie like The Hills Have Eyes.
Yes, very much.
Or there's an animal in need that we have to, go and do something, try to help out in some faction. So anyways, you tell me this, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, where do I have to go? Oh, don't worry about it. Somebody's bringing it here.
So, Shelly, the wonderful woman she is, she went out to this place to get this cat. And it wasn't just a cat, it was a kitten. I have no clue how old he is. I know he's under 5 months old or under 6 months old. But the cutest cat in the world, obviously you can see it by the album art, orange and white. She said that it was a grown man who posted it on Facebook, but he had a severe mental disability. He had enough sense to get onto Facebook and enough sense to try to find a way to get rid of the cat, but not enough sense that killing it is an act of murder.
And he lives with his mom.
Yeah.
His mom is his caregiver, right?
I guess, but they said that it was deplorable conditions. The cat needed to be out of there anyways. This person's been put on a no adoption list throughout everywhere because they always post on Facebook about these different animals they come in contact with.
Yeah, and they have a tendency to get their hands on a lot of different animals, and then something happens.
So something happens to them, nobody knows where they went. It's not like they just gave them up to someone else, but the cats just disappear. The reasoning for this guy to say that he was going to kill this cat was because the cat got up on his chest and purred in his face too much.
Can you believe that? I mean, honestly, can you believe that?
This kitten jumped up on him, purring, and, headbutting him too much. And it was annoying him.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And now we've had this cat now for a week. And yes, it does purr a lot. Like,
oh my God, you barely skim the tail. It's purring like nobody's business. It sounds like a motorboat.
Wow.
It does.
Leaving that one alone.
A Harley. How about that? He sounds like a Harley.
You've already let the other one out the bag, so. But no, it's an amazing. I've had luxuries of seeing and being around a lot of cats. I have never had a cat that is this sweet. Now we're not going to be foster failures this time. We really want a successful, adoption to happen. But what an amazing, cat this is. like Sarah said, you pick it up and it starts purring. It's litter box trained already, which is that was the first that I was worried about. I was like, please be litter box trained. That is the hardest thing to do, but it was. So that was good. And yeah, it will jump up on you and purr, but it'll go onto your chest and go to sleep on your chest and purr until it is asleep.
And even when it's passed out, it's still purring.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, this kitten, he's so sweet. He gives kisses. Granted, his kisses hurt because the cat's tongue are so rough. So when he kisses, it's not like having a dog come up and look in your face. It hurts.
It does.
But he tries to shove his nose up your nostril. So yeah, there's some of it that does kind of hurt. But for the most part, he will love on you as much as you want it, and then he'll get up and leave.
Yeah.
And you can play with him. Right now we're trying to stop him from biting because he plays and bites. Or play bites. We had to stop Rambo from doing that too. So we're still in the midst of teaching him what's right and what's wrong. But he is adorable. And if we didn't have three cats already, we would be snatching this one up right away. Nope, he's ours, hands off.
Yep. But no. We really want to actually be turning around different animals. You know, if we get a dog or cat in, we have been successful with our fosters though. We've had 3 or 4 come through this year, and all of them have gone out. So that's good. That's a plus.
We were a foster failure once, and that was with Rambo.
Yeah, we've almost had in the last year almost 10 total. About that number, almost 10.
Yeah, we only had him for a few weeks at most.
Yep.
So we didn't have him for very long.
And there was a couple that were really cute, really cute dogs.
I miss Sydney.
I was thinking of Sydney. Don't watch The Walking Dead with Sydney. She'd bark at it. The zombies come around.
I love that cat. Or
dog. Yeah, I was sad that I never found out where she actually went to. That was the part I was upset. But with this, with this situation, I got to give Pakal great deal of praise and gratitude. They right away they got in, they sponsored it so that all costs for vet bill would be out of our pocket. That was helpful.
Well, they got him neutered and got a shot.
They got him neutered Tuesday.
Monday, I thought.
No, was it Monday?
Tuesday?
It had to be Tuesday because Claire didn't have school. You had to drive over and drop him off, and we then come back and we took Claire to school.
Okay, and now as of being completely Pakal's responsibility, I don't know. We're still trying to find out if if Pakal themselves will take him as a foster. This was so up in the air last minute that it was one of those things. Hey, look, our best judgment said that this cat needed to be rescued, and they paid for his neuter and his
vaccinations.
Thank goodness. So there's no more fuzzy peaches sticking out his back end.
and let me just add this in. So as I had mentioned, when I didn't even have the podcast even ready, the cat shows up, and right out of the kennel, he had diarrhea all over him.
Yeah,
so what do you think I had to do?
You went and washed him while I continued cooking dinner.
Yep.
Because he came in right at the time I was cooking dinner. I'm like, I'm cooking dinner, I'm finishing up wash.
I finished the wash. How dare you? I did the wash. That was my job. You were fixing dinner.
As you poured softener onto the clothes and not in the downy ball.
Oh, that's a different story. At least I do the wash.
Yes.
Well, stop griping. I folded it too.
I gave you a little tap on the hat too. Good job.
Anyway, so the whole thing is, if ever you wonder why it takes forever for me to get these podcasts up, it's because Sarah has an idea that, hey, let's save this animal. And on the way in the Batmobile we go. In the Catmobile. Anyway.
Yeah, it's either, honey, we gotta go check on dogs, or, honey, I love you. I'm bringing 2 large dogs in for fostering. For emergency housing.
And it's always Sunday night.
A year ago, sometime around
I thought that was in February. March.
It?
Yeah.
It was in the wintertime. Oh, that's right. It was spring.
Yeah, we brought in quite a few this year. Luckily, they've all gone back out, which is nice. But you know, this cat will come available. We'll post. So if you are local, we will be posting pictures, whether it's us posting it, the call posting it.
And we do have to say thank you to Kim. She took out a load of 12 cats to get fixed and vaccinated. And Whiskers was one of them.
Right.
He went out this huge load. This is an all-day event. Kim has not been feeling good at all lately, so this was extremely difficult for her. And it was just awesome to see that many animals, or that many cats that are not going to be reproducing, to make an even more overpopulation.
Well, you know, we've said this so many times before, but with cats are a little bit more of a necessity to have spayed or neutered, because they can get pregnant by multiple cats.
And they can have litters quicker than any other animal almost.
Right.
You know, the gestational time is so much shorter.
Yep. What is it, every 3 months, I think?
It's less than that.
It might be even less than that. I know it's a ridiculous short time, so they could be pregnant all.
Our dogs don't get out of the house. Our dogs don't go run free. Cats, they take off. They take off for days. You know, cats tend to have more than one home. So getting them fixed is actually quite important.
Very important.
And they can slip out of your house so quickly. And there you go. You know, you have one male, and there's 15 females around that can, is capable of having a litter.
Yeah,
if he has the stamina, he can do it.
Another thing that's very important about fostering is, if you are, you know, thinking about, hey, I want to foster, but I already have animals. How does that work out? Well, we're good indications to this. We have 3 dogs, 3 cats already. Bringing in another animal, especially in this circumstance, can be very tricky. Luckily, our animals are well adjusted and used to transients coming through.
That sounds horrible.
That sounds terrible. But they're used to it. Typically, Katana, the Akita, is the welcoming committee.
Yes. Katana's the mama dog.
I like welcoming committee.
Well, she's a mama dog. She takes care of everybody. When Rambo came in, Katana was there taking care of Rambo. When Sydney came in, Katana was there taking care of Sydney.
It's true.
The only reason why Katana didn't meet Lily and Melody is because they were about the same size, and I'm not gonna have a dog fight.
They were so grody. Even after a bath, they took 2 baths to actually not be grody. It was crazy.
So I was one of those, okay, well, the small animals we can take.
Right.
And Rambo, he just fell in love with Katana. Now, our biggest problem that we're finding that took a while, it's taken over a week for this to happen, but Rambo did not like when Whiskers came in.
That is true.
Rambo was very upset. Rambo was very stressed out with Whiskers being there.
Yeah, and it's not until, like, I noticed today, Rambo was playing with Whiskers for the first time. And I think that's been the biggest odd kind of situation of it all. Now, you know, our oldest cat, which, when I say oldest, is 6 years old, Mama Kitty. The only reason why she had that name is because she was pregnant when we actually saw her. But
she's 7 or 8.
I would say, let's see, Callie is 6 or 5, so she would be 6 because she was a kitten pretty much when we got there.
So
she's only about not even a
7
year.
Or 8.
I'd say 6 because,
7.
well, if Callie's 5,
well, you don't know how Mama Kitty could have been a year.
She
was
was
2 years.
I would say a year because she was
2.
small. Well,
2.
Let's agree to disagree. Name that movie, folks. Recent movie too.
1 or 2 years.
Anyway, you know,
that movie.
when drop the mic. You know, the hard part is you have the adjustments, and then you have another adjustment to go on top of it. Once a cat comes back from a vet, they have a smell on them from the vet, and that could be
from their neuter spay. Yes.
And that can have a lot of negative effects.
Oh, it's terrible. I know when Callie came back from getting fixed, Mama Kitty didn't want to have anything to do with her.
For about a week.
For almost a week, Mama Kitty did not want to be anywhere near her own daughter.
Yeah.
And you could not separate these two. These two love each other.
Yeah.
And when Callie got fixed, oh my gosh.
It took a while.
And then same thing with Rambo. Mama Kitty never has accepted Rambo.
No, never has.
Mama Kitty allows Rambo to be around, but has never accepted him.
Yeah.
And so, but Callie has.
Yeah, Callie has. It's a stepbrother, almost, and she's accepted it that way. Now, I did notice with our Akita, like always, was cleaning and cleansing Whiskers right away. Yeah, right away.
Yeah.
So was cleaning up all of the vet smell, so to speak. And the pit has been great with Whiskers.
The pit wants to play.
Yeah. She wants to play. She's the senior of all the animals.
Yeah, she's our old girl. She
doesn't act like it.
Yeah, I want to say she's like 9.
Yeah, and she still can get onto our bed. And that's a leap.
Bound.
And that's a leap.
Yeah, and she gets right in her bed. But I don't know, fostering has been so awesome.
Yeah,
I enjoy it knowing that we're helping that life.
Yep.
And all we can do is pray that the rest of his life is going to be good from whoever can take care of the cat or whoever adopts him. But right now, it's so important to find his family because he's a kitten still.
Yeah.
Everybody loves kittens. Once they get to cats, it makes it difficult.
Well, there is a unmentioned claim on this cat that we're not sure yet if it's going to happen. That's Keith. We have heard that there is a possible desire out there.
There might be.
But with that said, I mean, who knows?
Well, Keith loves adopting animals when he can. His 2 adopted animals that are shop animals right now, they're shop pets, are Spike and Buddy.
Yep.
A long-haired dachshund and a cat. They've been at the shop for years.
Oh, yeah. I think almost since the beginning was Buddy. Almost the beginning.
So they've had a cush life, hanging out in the office, roaming when they want to, and doesn't start any problems. It's pretty cool. But Keith wants to adopt another cat. Buddy is going downhill. He's going downhill quickly.
Yeah. Well, Buddy's been going downhill for the last year. So.
Yeah. And what's kind of crazy is that a couple years ago, somebody said that Keith should have put him down then.
Yeah, that person works with animals.
Yeah, right?
Jeez.
And yet, Buddy's had a bunch of fantastic years since then.
And Buddy has never been able to walk right because it was kicked as a kitten. Should never walked again, but learned how. Just recently, Buddy actually made his way from the office all the way to the bathing room. First time in about a year.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. That was great. But
he's like, "What's up?"
Yeah, he does.
Someone come pet me.
Pick me up and pet me for a while. Yeah.
So we don't know if Keith will be interested in.
Well, we've heard that there's some interest. So we'll see. Now the only other thing we do want to mention before we go away for the week is black cats.
Very much.
It is very important that we actually mention this. If you own a black cat, this is the time of the year to keep them inside. If you're saying, why keep them inside? Well, there are idiots out there that because it's Halloween approaching, they actually want to actually get these cats, harm them, in an age that we're in right now with cell phone cameras, film this, and it's disgusting.
Well, it's the type of cults and type of, I don't even want to call them religions. It's where they use black cats to sacrifice or, mutilate, the satanic rituals, stuff like that.
It's ridiculous to actually think about this, that people actually think that harming an animal is okay. just because it's in the name of something that they're believing in. You know,
or they're practicing, or they're doing in spite of their parents, and just all this stuff. I know when I worked at my big box pet store, they did adoptions, and in the whole month of October, they did not adopt out black cats because of the fact that they are adopted out and then sacrificed, or they're mutilated. The superstition of black cats is, I don't understand it.
I don't get it.
You know, black cat crosses your path. Oh no, my day's gonna go bad.
I've had him cross my path every day that I'm up and I'm still alive.
Right?
And there goes a piece of the ceiling on top of my head. No, I'm just kidding.
So please, folks, be very careful during Halloween. Be very careful during the month of October, because sometimes they trap a cat and keep it alive just long enough to do their ritual on Halloween.
So if you have a cat that's, you know, just so happens to be a black cat, and it's an indoor-outdoor cat, just for this month, keep them inside the house.
Yeah, keep a weather eye out for them, and then on Halloween at least, or a day before, keep them inside. Yeah, he's not going to like it staying inside if they're used to being indoor-outdoor. Do it for their safety, because you don't know who's lurking around the corner that's absolutely just as sick as the next person.
Yeah, because look at last year. This time last year we were fostering Rambo, and we could not put him up for adoption until at least a few days after November. He was on a block.
The beginning of November, yeah.
Yeah, well, they wanted it a little bit after November, a few days after. And
after the beginning, not after November, so that meant December.
November like 5th, 6th was when he was going to come.
But
I get what you're saying.
Said was that after November.
Well, whatever.
Few days into November.
There you go. That's what I was talking about.
I'm just teaching you how to be a good podcaster, that's all.
Teaching me. I do just fine, thank you very much. The tens of people would actually beg to agree with me on that.
The ones of tens?
The ones of tens. Alright, folks, well, I guess that concludes episode 98 of the Groomer Next Door. I'm your co-host, Chris Green. Have a pet-tastic week.
And I'm Sarah Green. Make sure everybody realizes life is so short. Play with your pet.
Claire?
And I'm Claire Green. Make sure every kitten and every dog are so happy.
Okay. Well, bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, gotta go in my bedtime.
Was without doubt worst episode ever. Rest assured that I was on the internet within minutes, registering my disgust throughout the world.